Most people, when they get started in real estate, get started in residential property. I certainly did, and I think it's a great way to get started. Residential has a lot of advantages. It generates high and reliable cash flow. And the most obvious advantage of residential real estate is that most investors know what to look for. If you go out to look at a house and there's no roof there, you will notice it. If there's no front door, although the kitchen's missing, you will see that. Whereas not many people know what to look for in other forms of real estate. So residential has that big advantage. And the income from a residential property tends to be very predictable and stable. In fact, if we look at a graph of the way residential property values have gone for the last 4 or 5 decades, you can see that it's not quite linear. It doesn't go up at the same rate every year. It goes in fits and starts, but the overall trend is upwards. Yes, there are a few downturns every now and then, but as long as you manage to hang on and you don't panic and you don't sell, the trend will continue. Every peak tends to be higher than the previous peak. Every trough tends to be higher than the previous trough. That is why I always recommend, if you can avoid it, never sell. Hang on to a property for the long term because the values will continue to rise. And there are many kinds of residential property, but the one I recommend that you get into is the single family home that might be 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, because that's where there is the most demand. You will always have a stable demand for this kind of property, no matter what the economic circumstances.